One, two, three. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. This is the Massive Passive Income Show. I'm Jason.
And I am Colter, and we are going to talk about not falling in love with the property, but you have to fall in love with the numbers.
Yeah.
And tell us about your experience. You're sharing a little bit.
Yeah.
Dive into this property because you dove into it in an episode prior.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that almost you got sucked into the property?
It was such a cool property. So it's a threeplex, but it was a threeplex on like 7 lots in Boise. The price was awesome. It was, but not awesome enough. So a little bit of property. So it had a house, and then onto the house it had like a duplex, and then on the back of the house it had 2 different shops. But the guy who did the duplex, there was all sorts of secret passageways inside the duplex. There was a slippery slide in one that went from one apartment to the other apartment. And I don't know if he built it for like a bunch of family. They were all going to kind of live together, but it was all 3 separate properties. It could be boarded up so that you could use it differently. But the 2 shops, and then one of the shops had a bomb shelter underneath the floor that you had a big cabinet that looked like a workbench, and you flipped a switch and you could push it out of the way, and there were stairs that went down and lights turned on in motion when you went down in there.
Really?
I wanted this property so bad. It was so dang cool because we could rent it, and then I could have the shop space. You know, I mean, it was a cool place. There were some other cool things like a bookcase in the top floor. You open the bookcase in the top floor, it went out on a little spot that looked like a dormer, but the dormer was like a secret library. It was, the guy must have just like had all the time in the world and just kept building cool things. So his whole property was pretty awesome. And I did the numbers, and I wanted the property so bad, I subconsciously and consciously just fluffed the numbers. I wanted to work so badly that I fluffed it, and you know, I instead of doing an vacancy rate of 10% or 20%, I did 10%. I wanted the numbers to work so bad, and I had the money lined up. But at the end of the day, it was going to go in the hole. And it was going to go in the hole about $500 a month. But I thought, no, we can get more money because of uniqueness. I can rent the shops for more money than what I was thinking I could rent them for. But then my wife's like, you're not going to rent those shops. I know you're going to want to keep at least the one with the cool bomb shelter underneath. So all said and done, we were about ready to get this property done. And she's like, she got the question, are you in love with the numbers or are you in love with the property? No, I'm totally in love with the numbers. And she just sat there and stared at me. She knew the answer. And I'm like, I really like the property. And she goes, I know you do. And she goes, but the numbers don't work. The numbers don't work. She goes, and if you want to just buy it, and we're okay going $500 in the hole every month, then let's buy it, if that's what we're doing. Are we doing that, or are we buying cash flow properties? Like, we're buying cash flow properties right now. She goes, give me $400 or $500 a month to go in the hole to buy a cool property. No, not really. This is like 2013. We're just coming out of the recession. At that I think we had it locked up for like $165,000.
Oh man, wow.
I'll bet it's worth $700 now.
Sure.
Yeah, easy. But again, fall in love with the numbers, because we would have bought it $500 at that point, coming out of our family budget. It would have been really tough. And in fact, we didn't have it extra at that time. 2012, I can't remember, 11. So don't fall in love with the property. Fall in love with the numbers. Now, later on, I've bought some properties I'm okay to go in the hole a little bit because I know the benefit I'm going to get from it. Either a cool shop or a cool place to have or place to store stuff. There's a place we bought that had 2 big shops on it, and we bought it for the shops, and it still cash flows. At the time it didn't, but over the last year, after we bought it, over a year time, we got it to cash flow, and now we get the shops for free. So there is times to buy those type of properties, but at the time we were at, that was not the time.
So I would just reiterate, like, you have to be intentional with that.
Yes.
Right? You have to, it is a mindset thing. I love looking at properties, and I'm really entertained by different architecture and ideas, and
cool
why would they put the shag carpet in there? Even if it was the 70s, I still don't understand. Right?
What's this rake in the closet for? Oh, that's for the shag rug.
So really, we have to be intentional about it. So fall in love with the numbers. Don't fall in love with the property.
Yep.
Now, if there is another purpose of, like you said,
Yeah.
like if your wife wants it, make sure that it happens. If you want, if you need a shop, etc. But fall in love with the numbers, don't fall in love with the property, and you will methodically be able to create and apply the mathematics so that you can grow and maintain and create wealth.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
there you go.
Thank you.
Na, 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 na.